Hi everybody, my name is Natalie and we're with Unicorn Properties and today we're talking about relocation. We're here with an expert, Pablo, here from Costa Rica, but he's a special knowledge about how to transition from one country to the other. So how are you today?
We're doing good. Hey, how are you? Thanks for the invite. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited you're in Mexico now, in our favorite country, and I'm glad that you are our partner now because we have a lot of people that they select a home and they decide to move with our company, but then we don't know how to assist them through bringing their stuff with, or if they want to sell everything, let's say in Canada, US. Sometimes they're like, okay, maybe I just drive a truck through the border, right?
Oh my God.
Like, what's your experience with that?
It's funny you say, I have the impression, this is my idea, I've been doing this for 14 years, but my impression is most people that offer real estate services or international investments in real estate often advise do not ship anything, do not get involved into the shipping part. And at some point, I would say that makes sense for some people, but we do shipments every day. I was just looking at this morning, how many shipments we have in transit right now. We're managing 50 shipments at the same time.
Wow.
This is it's happening right now, 50 shipments. So this means to me that there's a lot of people who needs to do an international shipment. Perhaps they are moving to San Miguel de Allende or to Playa del Carmen, or perhaps they're moving to Lisbon in Portugal or Costa Rica, and they want to ship their things. But the big problem with this is that this is a very complex project. It's not as easy as moving from Texas to Florida, where you don't have to do customs, or you can just hire a local company or interstate company. You have to go through borders. You have to report to Homeland Security what you're doing. You have to file your import taxes or customs in the country you're shipping into. There's many things that you have to do. This is as complex as doing immigration in another country, which is complex, or as complex as buying a property in another country. You need a trusted advisor for this.
Yeah.
So I'd say, yes, you can do it. We are doing it every day. I feel we have a great reputation within the expat community. We have an international moving company that specializes on assisting and advising those customers who are looking to move abroad. And we can do the same service in many different fields and industries. We can do international shipment of electronics, perhaps, or we can do international shipments of bananas if you wanna just come out with something. But we just decided to, instead of doing anything else, we want to help people. We are in the people's business of helping that person who is want to make this dream come true of living in Playa del Carmen or Tulum, or some, like I just said, they want to live their dream. So we feel very connected with the community. We do a lot of things for the community, but as a service, what we do is the shipping part, and the way we do it, or we are able to do it properly, is we sit down with the customer, we explain them everything that they need to know, especially the risk, the requirements, and the regulations. If you know what you're getting into, you have the opportunity before you even start to say, no, this might be too complicated for me. So when we explain this to the customers, we have customers that say, no, I'm not shipping. But the ones who end up doing the service with us, they know what they're getting into, and we help them along the process from start to finish, and we mitigate all of the risk around that.
Yeah, that's very important, I think, and thanks for sharing all the process in between, because when they ask us as a real estate company and we're helping them find a dream home, and they ask us, so what do I do with my stuff? We're like, before used to be like, we don't know, like, okay, good luck, we're trying to provide some partners, but finding you along the way, you're covering so many countries as well.
It's interesting because this is huge. When you I'm gonna say something that I think is huge. When you are looking for a real estate advisor, you're looking for a provider in the real estate field. Most real estate agents, brokers, and firms are gonna focus on selling you something. Okay, here's an apartment, or here is this property. They just sell a product. And in the international real estate market or the international real estate investment, that's not enough. I'm going to just put it this way out strongly. That's not enough. You have a real estate agent that is just showing you stuff or product. That's not enough. You need a trusted partner who is able to maybe introduce you to a good real estate agent, to a good real estate attorney, or a good real estate immigration, a good immigration attorney, or service providers. You need an agent that perhaps got a contact, maybe local contacts. I think this is something that a lot of real estate firms are missing out, and the fact that you as a unicorn properties are looking for partners to introduce to you. I think it's amazing. It makes a difference.
Yeah, I think we're trying to help the clients.
Trying to find a full solution.
Every struggle. We don't know. We know we don't know everything. It's impossible to know everything in every single area as you're from one country to the other. But having those key partners that know exactly what they're doing in the industry fully, and we can partner up with every single person within the, let's say, the transition, helps the client so much because they can go from here to Pablo to, let's say, attorney, immigrations, and then what happens here, insurance, and all the good stuff when you're already in the country. So it's great to have you. And then I know you're building an expat community too.
One of the things I put a lot of energy into is networking locally as well. We're trying to, basically, you come to us, we help you with the advice, rules, regulations for shipping. But if you need anything else, maybe you need, an additional contact, we try to connect you with the right people.
I love the fact that you're doing a whole directory of different professionals in different countries.
And we're doing it in different ways. We do it first through a consultation call. This is a free one-on-one Zoom meeting, face-to-face consultation, where we sit down and we learn from you, and then we advise accordingly to your specific case. Then we are also doing something that is called theexpatcommunity.com, which doesn't even have the brand of our business. It's a community. I want it to be something for the community, from the community, and I want people to come and join this community to help. We wanted to do networking events. We are doing networking events in Tamarindo, Costa Rica right now every month. We're doing networking or sponsoring networking events in Panama. And here soon in Playa del Carmen, we're looking to partner to do these networking events because I feel this is a need for the expat community. If you're new in Playa del Carmen, or if you're new into one of these destinations, one of the needs you're going to have is to meet with other people that are like you, other people that speak your language and that are going to the same transition. That helps a whole lot. We're also translating local news into your language. So there is a lot of news that are happening in Mexico, but the expat, one of the issues I see, or one of the mistakes people make, is they get into the expat bubble. They get into this bubble of just talking to the same people. You go to the coffee shop, you see the same other people that is from your country, and you don't really relate to what's happening around you. And I think the local news from local newspapers sent out to you in a newsletter, I think it's huge. So we are looking for those particular needs, information, connecting with other people. Last year we did half of the year free Spanish classes on Wednesdays. We haven't started this year, but we hopefully we're going to start with that again. So we are looking to provide a lot of resources, and eventually we'll be doing a book per country. So we covered a lot of countries, and that's going to take a lot. But the Costa Rica book is almost finished. So it's called the Expat Community Book, Costa Rica. So it's going to be, offered in Amazon for people to just learn about Costa Rica. And it's going to be a pretty plain, basic guide into how to do things like getting your driver license or open a bank account.
Yeah, I didn't know you were doing that for specific by country.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a lot of time because each book is like at least 6 months. We have a professional writer do it, bestseller author, so we picked her to do it because she's got a lot of experience. I don't want to do things like, I want to have something well put together for our community.
I'm glad that you're touching on that point. Sometimes when we come to a different country, we're in the expat bubble, and we don't talk to the locals, and we don't connect with the locals, or we don't work with the locals, and it's like everything within like as if we were in Florida or as if we were in Chicago, and then we create our community of Chicago here. So I feel that's not as friendly as being in touch with the nature, with other people that are from the area. I feel that has been happening, at least in Mexico and Costa Rica, when they close the doors, and I'm like, well, just my people are here. And then what's important that you see that connect to the communities, key?
I think it's important, first, if you want to be in an expat town or a gringo town and just be around people like you, that's fine. No, it's your choice. But when you learn a little bit about the local language, you learn a little bit about what's happening. You perhaps getting involved and engaged with the local community, maybe go to church or maybe get involved with the local nonprofit. That's so much. That's so much value into that. You enhance your experience, your journey of living abroad. It goes like you enhancing your experience like 10x. So I think it's useful. It's important. I think a lot of people come to our countries. They come to Mexico, spend 2 years, and then they get sick and they leave. They no, this is not for me. And one of the success people that made it and is able to build roots in the community and is able to stay is because they actually got involved with the community.
I totally agree with that. And I think as the world is going, things are getting crazy. I feel like these communities are so important, and countries like that are so open, like Mexico, Costa Rica, to welcome expats into their communities, because the land in some countries is richer than in others. And then with politics happening, I feel like people gravitate towards nature, and I feel that has been a trend more and more.
Yeah,
have you seen it that way too?
Yeah, it happens a lot. Our pretty much we started this business in Costa Rica. It's kind of like one of those countries that is very, ecological. There is a lot of nature. There is a lot of things a lot of small towns that will connect you with, being close to a river or being close to the ocean. And I can totally see people making this transition because of that. Lots of people want to escape from the big city, 3 or 4 hours of traffic, and instead of that, you can all work from home, get become a digital nomad sometimes. Maybe you have a business that you can run your business from anywhere. So after the pandemic, you see all this trend of people, looking for other places, and they just have a better lifestyle. They just have a better minimum lifestyle because they're able to, connect with nature. I also found that when you slow your lifestyle a little bit and come to this community, you also are healthier. Things like that happen. I mean, I have heard so many stories of people that have changed their life for good, for just getting off, the rat race in a big city and moving into a small town like this, Playa del Carmen.
That's awesome. I think it's very important to be in contact with nature. But there's some people that just rush through it and they're like, no, I just want to go. And then, you come with 2 suitcases, let's say. But if you decide to move your whole family, if you have kids and things like that, what are like 3 common mistakes that you see like people make as they go through the border without knowing, what they're bringing or how to bring it or what are the permits, customs requirements? I mean, I think there's so many horror stories that I've seen. What's your experience with that?
So all we do is international shipping. So every country is a little bit different. So I know you do international investments in many different countries. So every country is a little bit different. There are countries that will simply not allow you to ship anything. That's it. You're not allowed to ship anything. There's some countries that will not allow you, like Mexico, you're not allowed to ship anything until you have your immigration status ready. There are other countries that will allow you for you to ship things as a tourist, but they're going to charge you import taxes. So with this example, I'm trying to say is that every single process is different depending on who you are, what is your immigration status, and what is the country you're moving into. So it's key. One of the biggest mistakes people make is hiring a shipping company in whatever, Texas, Florida, Chicago. They look for a shipping company and they ask, can you ship my things to Costa Rica? And the shipping company in Chicago doesn't know anything else other than containers and shipping to a port. But when your things get to the port in Limon, Costa Rica, this is the name of the port in Costa Rica, Limon, or when the things get to the port of Veracruz here in Mexico or Manzanillo in Mexico, then there is an entire process that people do not know about. They didn't know they have to have their immigration status ready, either temporal immigration status or permanent immigration status, and the processes are different. So the first thing that you need to think of is, if I'm gonna do an investment of an international shipment, I need to prepare myself. I need to learn what is the process and what are the things that I need to have. And once again, every country is a little bit different. and that's where we come from. And I've been doing this for many years.
Yeah.
And for over 14 years, I've been learning and enhancing the process. And one day we decided we are helping so many people, but oftentimes they did not realize what are the things they need to do. So one day I said, I'm gonna stop everything. I want to reinvent the wheel, because the moving industry is not like this. I mean, we're done a different thing. And I'm going to ask everybody, if they want to work with us, they need to sit down for at least 30 minutes to understand the rules, the requirements, the regulations, the potential risks, and what are the potential hidden fees. Because you get a quote from a company in Chicago or Florida, but they do not tell you that the port, it's another entity, a destination that is going to charge perhaps $1,000, and some countries $5,000, depending on where you're shipping into. Shipping into Brazil or Argentina, those are port fees of $4,000.
Whoa.
You're shipping into Mexico, maybe $1,000, $1,500. So every country is a little bit different. So we decided we're not thanking a customer until they sit down and understand that they need to learn. Once we did that, the customer is usually very thankful, because nobody else, they quoted with 3 other companies, nobody else explaining all of these details, nobody else sit down with them. So what we do is we sit down with the customer, we explain these things. So the first thing is, look for somebody that is looking to help you and give you information. Also, this is a complex process, and whoever you see out there selling this service and that is sugarcoating the process, it's not true. I mean, this is a project that is complex, just like building a house, just like any other thing of significance. If you're looking to do things right, you have to have a process, you need to have the experience and the knowledge. So if you see somebody that has a website that says, oh, we make everything seamless, easy for you, I don't think, my website doesn't say that. Our website, what it says is, we'll give you the tools and the information you need. Please book a consultation call. We want to talk to you and explain these things to you. And the end result is, if you tell somebody the truth up front and they hire your service, the end result is that they give us five stars. That's what happens. Versus the other way of doing business, if you tell somebody that everything is going to be smooth and easy, and then they stuck in a port because they didn't know they could not put food in the container or wine in the container, and then they have to pay a $1,000 fine or fee, and maybe lost these products, then they're going to be angry and give no good reviews.
Perfect. That's great. So let's say if a client wants to pursue the process of moving to a different country, what are the countries you cover currently right now?
We focus on Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua, Spain, and Portugal.
Okay.
We could be shipping to any country, but we just really wanted to focus and give expert advice on these particular countries. And as we grow, we are adding more destinations, but these are the countries that we're focusing on.
That's amazing, because we're overlapping on the countries, because we do real estate in 24 countries, and at least half to 1/3 of them are the ones that you cover. So that's pretty good. So if you have any questions on not only relocating, but also finding a home where you're going, I think we have several countries covered, especially if they speak Spanish. Pablo knows the law on the transitioning goods, goods through the border, from anywhere from a bottle of wine to a couch to electronics, which I think
customs is my field, but we now have a group of relocation consultants that cover depending on the country you're moving into. So we specialize, we get people local that is specialized, we build relationships with ports, we have agents in different locations. Okay. So it's a network of service providers that allow us to have the service that we need to provide to our customers. And if anybody wants to reach out to us and book a consultation call, just visit our website, which is internationalrelocationpartner.com, and we have a red button that you can click on it and book a consultation. It's important that people book the consultation. Once again, I checked this morning, and the next available consultation for our team, it's next week. So we are busy, and so it's important.
1 week wait, so prepare to wait at least.
Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's 2 weeks, depending on the volume, the season, and so on.
No, it's good that you give a personalized answer to every single client and just understand what they need to do before they do it, and then they can plan accordingly. Awesome. This was great information, Pablo. Thank you so much for being with
You're
us
welcome.
today. I'm so excited. All the information for Pablo will be in the description below. So if you need to contact him, email him, call his team, he'll be able to help you going forward. So don't forget, it's not only about the home that you pick, it's also about how you bring the valuable things that you have, in the other country to Mexico right now and to more countries that he covers. So more information in his website.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pablo.